COVID-19 has devastated many small businesses, and business incubators are needed now more than ever. Black Umbrellas, a non-profit incubator focused on black entrepreneurs, says this gives them an opportunity to fulfill a broader socio-economic purpose. Black Umbrellas Chief Operating Officer Xolile Ndumndum joins us now. A very good afternoon to you, Xolile, and thank you so much for your time. So what exactly is Black Umbrellas, and I would imagine organizations such as yours hoping to do at a time like this, specifically for black-owned small businesses?
Hi, Morena Mutupi. What we are hoping to do, of course, is to support small businesses during this most challenging time by continuing to provide a supportive environment in which they can stabilize and grow their businesses.
What is it that you saw that prompted you guys to do this? Where was the need that needed to be addressed?
So even without the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic and the devastation that it has caused to the economy, already small businesses, and especially small black businesses, were experiencing a high failure rate because, you know, as the stats go, about 70% of businesses would not make it beyond the 3-year mark. So essentially, what the COVID-19 pandemic had then done is that it had exacerbated that situation, you know, which is where then our programs of support for the SMEs come in to help them ride out this difficult time.
Xolile, whose fault is that? That 70% of businesses cannot go past the 3-year mark. Small businesses, businesses that I would imagine aren't even looking like they are not doing enough. Whose fault is it that they keep failing?
It's not a fault per se, you know, to say that, you know, there's somebody that you can blame. It's actually a combination of factors. So what you'll normally find is that businesses struggle to get access to procurement opportunities. Businesses struggle to get access to funding, you know, for them to be able to fulfill those procurement opportunities. And then generally just from a side of being organized and having access to networks, you know, where they can then seek those opportunities within corporate and government supply chains. So those are some of the factors, that generally lead to that failure rate. So it's not a thing that you can really blame a person for. It's just, it comes with the territory of entrepreneurship, as any seasoned entrepreneur will tell you.
I was in conversation with Lings Naidu yesterday, who is responsible, or part of the team that's responsible for the Beyond COVID survey, which essentially one of the things they identified was that small businesses have been affected in this last year or so of COVID-19 because of essentially problems that, you know, preceded COVID-19. Would you agree that small businesses are actually now suffering more in this COVID period because of structures that were not put in place before?
I mean, this is, it does stand to reason, as I'd also indicated, that, you know, already before we experienced COVID-19, we were already experiencing a South African economy that was not doing well, that was actually shedding jobs, and that was contracting for all intents and purposes. So the COVID-19 pandemic, of course, with the stopping of trading, it made a bad situation worse, essentially. And that's the thing then that we're saying, to say that, you know, as we are now, all of the ecosystem partners working to turn this around, these are some of the things that we then need to address, to say that, can we help these businesses access funding? Can we assist these businesses to better structure themselves, to be able to take on procurement opportunities as and when they come up? I think we saw during the pandemic, of course, that while a lot of businesses had to shut down, there were actually some opportunities for your essential services providers. So even in a tough situation like COVID, there is a silver lining, where those SMEs then are able to pivot their businesses, using their internal strengths and then just identifying what opportunities out there and trying to take them on.
Xolile, a white-owned small business will then be watching this conversation between myself and you and asking, why is Black Umbrellas not assisting my business? Because I too am suffering.
So it's interesting you mentioned that. So initially, I mean, the Black Umbrellas program was aimed at where the biggest need was, because as much as you know, the need exists within the entire SME sector, what you found is that Black businesses especially were the ones that were not doing so great. The failure rates there, you would find that are even higher. So with the new program that we have developed as Black Umbrellas, which is a virtual incubation program, we've actually opened up our intake for majority Black-owned businesses, so not 100% Black-owned businesses as we did before. And this was in a bid to encourage the working together of Black and white and all South African entrepreneurs essentially within South Africa, to be able to go for opportunities together, put unique strengths and advantages that they have together to, to be able to make a success of their businesses.
Xolile, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. That is Xolile Ndumndum, who is the COO of Black Umbrellas. Senior researcher from the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, Usipho Ngobeni, says parents